All right, guys, Jackzer here. Hope you're all doing super well. I got a really good question on a video a while ago asking me, hey, how did you get into sim racing? Did you always have a rig like that thing behind me? Or did you ever have like a normal setup? It was a very good question, to be honest. I thought it'd be nice to make a video about it, just how I got into sim racing, how this addiction crawled onto me, how I haven't been able to shake this, and how I haven't missed a race in quite a while. I do take days off, but we're going to get into all that. So to answer the question, yes, I had a normal rig at one stage. Let's go from the start. So I don't have much footage to show you of the early days of my very subpar average career degree. Jesus Christ. So I don't have too much footage to show you from the start of my career, if you want to call it that, the very slightly above average sim racer Jackzer. But I might have like little snippets and little vertical videos that I took on my phone, like here and there. So if I have any memories from this time, I'll put them up just to give you guys context. But yeah, so I started sim racing when I was 2. I'm only joking. Well, to be honest, I got a PlayStation 1 when I was about 4 or 5 and a steering wheel that had like a little sequential thing on it. I'm not going to lie, I don't really remember using it. I did like trucks and cars, like little small ones, but I didn't really have a passion for cars yet. So that kind of like disappeared. I don't know what happened to that, but I do still have it somewhere. But I never really got into the whole thing. It was Gran Turismo 1 or Gran Turismo 2 maybe on the PlayStation 1. So then next was when I got a computer. And then I had the G25. I tried to download Ore Factor because I wanted to do drifting and stuff. Couldn't get it to work. The wheel was cool. I could feel the force feedback. It was way too complicated for me. I was way in over my head. So I was just like, nope, not doing this. And then the G25 went in to join the GT wheel of some sorts. Now, roll on 2016. So I had run a successful YouTube channel that was based around military simulation for quite a long time. And then what I did was I went to... I wanted to take a break. I got burnt out from it. The simulators I was playing, the development kind of ceased. So it was very hard to play on a broken kind of simulator, and it was just very taxing, and I wanted to do some other things. I was starting college and things like that, so I was just like, you know what, I'm going to take a break from all this. And especially when you've played shooters for quite a while, Call of Duty, Battlefield, absolutely loved all that stuff, but it can be very stressful after a while, so not too into it. I like Arma, Reforger sometimes. Excellent game. I like, you know, taking it low and slow, flying helicopters, dropping people to their destination, having the chats. That's kind of cool. But so I discovered I kind of like sim racing. How did I do it? I was playing on the Xbox of all games. I was playing Forza, and there's Forza Horizon, which was kind of fun. And there was also Forza Motorsport, where you could play a game called Infected. And on this game Infected, what happened was you could chase people. You had to touch them and they'd turn red on the minimap, and they'd have to come get the survivors, let's say. Well, I figured out if you got the Formula 1 car, you could run for a very, very, very long time. And I figured out that these Formula 1 cars could do some pretty fun things, like really fun things. Like, you know, they were super fast, they stuck to the ground, they were very unnatural in the way they could drive. And I was like, huh, these Formula cars are kind of cool. And I started watching Formula 1 and I was like, huh, these guys are kind of quick. You know, I've seen how hard it is to drive that around an airfield on Forza. These guys must be good, you know? And then I slowly discovered motorsport as a sport. I never really liked too many sports like football and stuff like that. If I'm there live, I'll watch football, MMA, UFC, if I'm actually there, you know, but watching it on TV and stuff doesn't really appeal to me. Apart from motorsport, I like the idea of people going at it wheel to wheel, pushing their cars. So they have respect, but they're willing to kill each other all at the same time. MotoGP is like next level for that stuff. But so motorsport started becoming a bit of a theme for me, as a thing, let's say. And then I discovered Gran Turismo on the PlayStation. This was game changer. This is, you know, I was having proper races. I was having a lot of fun. I really liked, you know, learning how to go fast and handling the pressure and stuff. I like the GR3s. I like the Super Formulas, I believe they were called. Really, really cool stuff. And then this was all on controller now, PlayStation controller. And then I got Assetto Corsa. And then what I noticed was Assetto Corsa felt a lot better, more realistic, let's say. The Dallara F3 car, I believe it's called, was an amazing car, like stunning to drive this car. It felt so connected and planted, even on a controller. And then I got the Logitech G29. Game over. That's it. Done. You know, I just, this controller thing with 2 little thumb analog sticks is like vile. Get that away from me. No, immediately no. Enter the wheels. So I had that Logitech. It was excellent. I had it on a desk. I shook that poor desk to bits. That poor desk took a beating and a half. Let's just say when I started sim racing, I wasn't the most gentle of sim racers out there, like by any means regards. People are like, oh, light hands and all, you know, be smooth, relax. That desk was going up, down, left, right, pulling, pushing. You know, I was accelerating, I was pulling, I was braking, I was pushing. That poor little wheel took a beating. It was a tank though. It survived pretty well. But yeah, so I really was doing an awful lot on Gran Turismo on Assetto Corsa, and then I noticed I wanted competitive racing. On Assetto Corsa, I'd get put into a lobby sometimes where I'd actually get a decent race for like 1 or 2 laps. I'd be like, oh, I went side by side with people for like 3 corners there. Like, I like this a lot, you know? And I like the idea of going motorsport racing, actually having a race car, but it's too expensive. So, you know, if I wanted to invest a little bit more into sim racing, I thought, why not? I'm becoming very passionate about this hobby. It's really fun. I love racing cars. Unfortunately, the real ones cost money. So I'll invest in the virtual cars where I could race real people with fake cars. And that's when I found iRacing. And that's when the addiction really, really begun. So I discovered iRacing through YouTube, watching all the classics, Dave Cam, these guys, all these dudes, mainly Dave Cam, to be honest. I like the way he portrayed iRacing as this place of class, you know. You went, you got your suit ironed, you know, you got your monocle, you put it in, and you go race with the real racers, you know. I know iRacing doesn't try to perceive that perception too much, but like it does put it out there in fairness, you know, that it is this like highest echelon of sim racing that no one else can get near. To be honest, though, they have a monopoly on it. You know, every half an hour you can get in and just jump into a race that's like tightly matched to your skill. Not going to get into it. It was portrayed as this like, whoa, I've just seen, like, I've never had racing like that in Gran Turismo. People like push you in Gran Turismo. They can drive through you. You could drive on grass like it's nothing. And the way the cars slide is just like, oh, it's a bit ridiculous. You know, you can't really feel much that's going on underneath the car. Definitely fun, really fun, and you can like get faster and faster and faster, but it's just like a very, very arcadey for me. So I got a computer again. I had the gaming computer, but like that gaming computer just rotted or something. I think I like salvaged it for parts. I had a GTX 780 or something. Like, I sold all that stuff, and then I got a gaming PC and I got iRacing. I got the Fanatec CSL Elite with the CSL pedals and the F1 steering wheel. Absolute game changer. I got myself a rig, the Ubuntu Revolution rig, which was really, really cool. And slowly but surely, I started iRacing in 2020, 2019, 2020, 2021. I got triples then. That was a game changer. Absolutely loved it. And then slowly but surely, that rig kind of started flexing a little bit on me. But I was just curious about direct drive systems. So then I got myself an Alpha Mini from SimMagic after doing like a year of research. But then it actually came to light that I made the right decision. I was really happy with the decision I make. And hence why I'm very passionate about the SimMagic gear, because it's very expensive to buy some of this stuff. So when you do go out on a whim and you do spend your hard-earned money on something like, you know, a direct drive wheelbase and a really, really high-class steering wheel, you expect it to be good. You want it to be a safe purchase and one that lasts you. And hey, it works out pretty well for me. And this isn't an advertisement for them. They don't pay me or anything like that. This is just saying that I was really happy with the gear. But that presented a new problem. The new problem was that the rig was flexing quite a lot. So I moved. We're fast forwarding now up until August of this year, where I moved place. I got a new studio style thing. I got a new rig, the Track Racer TR160. The monitors I still use, they're 1080p, so I would love to get 32-inch 1440p triples. But to be honest, they do the job. They're great as is. I've invested in other things like cameras and microphones and other hardware that helps me make content. That's what I like to do. And yeah, that's pretty much the entire story. You know, there's AC Evo coming out. I'm not too into Assetto Corsa on the PC. I'd much rather iRacing. That's where I go to get my fix. I really do like that. Assetto Corsa Evo, I'm hoping once they do sort that out, the game, that it'll be a place where I can go kind of have a more chill approach to racing, because the way Assetto Corsa cars handle are incredible. They're nothing like iRacing, but for all the right reasons. Really, really enjoyable stuff. So that's how I got started in sim racing. You know, really just PlayStation, console, and then made the switch to PC, got iRacing, and, you know, I'm dabbling in other things as is. There's LMU, there's Assetto Corsa Evo that's out. All these kind of cool simulators, but to be honest, it all comes from Gran Turismo on the PlayStation. And I'm pretty sure I played Gran Turismo when I was younger. Always gravitated towards the machines and arcades, but never really thought that I could actually get a full-blown simulator like that in my own space. Lo and behold, I can. So, and I have, you know. So the thing with sim racing is, the question is, you know, like when you spend a lot of money on it, but it's like any hobby, you know, if you, poor camera, you know, if you spend a lot of hobby, whether you're shooting, you do long range competitive shooting, you do hunting, you do archery, you know, if you want to buy yourself a new bow, you want to buy yourself a new scope, but you already have a scope. Sometimes it doesn't have to make sense. Being an enthusiast, when you know, buy into a hobby, it's something you do for fun. It's something you do for joy. It brings you joy. For example, if you like spending an hour a day doom scrolling on Reddit, if it brings you joy, in my opinion, that's fine. You know, if it's something you like to do, that's fine. So, you know, I didn't come across all this stuff at once. This behind you is what you're looking at, is basically the culmination, I think is the word, of years and years and years of just adding one and one and one and one and researching my purchases in detail to see, is it going to suit my needs? Is it going to future-proof what I need? All this stuff. And then you got to do reality checks every now and again. It's being like, okay, I'm investing quite a lot into this. Is this something I really want to do and continue doing? And for me, the answer was yes. It's my safe space. It's my place where I come to meditate. It's my place where I come to just, you know, racing is a nice way to clear the head, keeps you sharp, keeps you focused. It's really, really fun. And then there's the added bonus that I like to make content as well around sim racing. So I always like to make YouTube videos. If I'm doing something I'm passionate about, I have that content creator head where I'm like, you know, I'm going to figure out a way how to make this into a video. You know what I mean? Like, I'd be walking down the street and I'd be like, that's a good title, you know, all this sort of stuff. That's how I got involved in sim racing. Content creation is probably a second video. If you want to hear that video, let me know down below if you're curious about it. That's a serious story that would probably be a lot longer than whatever this story is I told you. But yeah, so that's how I got started in sim racing. Hopefully, if anyone made it to the end, drop an emoji of a banana. That way I know you're a real one. Best of luck, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next one.